Right, Sam. Do you think police did right thing the ఏదైతే జార్జ్ ఫ్లాయిడ్ జస్ట్ ఫర్ ది presenting a counterfeit $20 what is your opinion on this?
Well, first of all, good morning and thanks for having me on the show.
Good morning.
And basically, I would say it's just it's not right in any book of law to treat anybody that is not posing a threat to the people around them, to that specific society, and especially to the police themselves. So it's just not the right way of treating people. Or I'm pretty sure, just like Chaitanya mentioned earlier, that it was just a counterfeit $20 bill, and it did not require for police to treat him like that. It's definitely something that has been considered very unprofessional of those cops and police officers. And basically, I'm pretty sure they were trained better, to deal with situations like this in a better way. And especially if the guy was not threatening or posing any kind of threat to the police officers and also to the store owner. And I mean, to get that kind of treatment just for having a $20 counterfeit bill on you is just it's outrageous. It's not acceptable, and nobody should be treated like that. But like I said earlier, they should have handled the situation in a lot better ways that they did. But at this point, I mean, the better answer, I would say, would be with the police officers themselves, like why they chose a very violent and non-human way of treating George like that. And it should be condemned in my personal opinion. And if I'm pretty sure there's an injustice happened right there in that moment, they were recorded, and there were different cameras around that area, and people have seen that they really
Yes, Sam,
were
exact,
not doing what
exact.
they're supposed to do.
Sam, what would be the better way of the handling this type of the situation in the future?
Well, I would say I'm not a law enforcement, I would say specialist, but it's very common to handle situations like that. They could have easily, the man didn't even have a gun, or he didn't have a knife. He was not posing any threat. They could have easily handcuffed them the right way, based on their studies and schoolings that they get from the police academy. And all they need to do was handcuff him and have, take him to the police station and just talk to them. And like I said, it's just a very unhuman way of treating somebody. It's not the first time it happened in America. It happens basically. I'm not saying every day, but it happens regularly, and this is not the right way. And it has to stop at some point. Because it causes a lot of problems, especially right now that you see what the world is dealing with, the whole virus pandemic and all that. But on top of that, we're dealing with a situation where people get killed over stuff that they're not even supposed to be harmed or killed. But like I said, it's out of my I would say understanding. I'm not a police officer myself, but everybody understands what police is going through, type of training they go through, because the person was not, I would say, a person that was threatening anybody in that moment. So,
Sam, I have a quick question for you. Yes. So basically, do you think is this a right way of handling the situation? And also the protests which were happening in, for example, the nearest the city we have, like Trenton City and all, where the police voluntarily themselves supported the people who are protesting, and also the way the police acting in some sort of areas. Do you think this is the right way?
Well, it's the best way to deal with it, because police is basically showing the people and the population that their job is not to kill innocent people. Their job is, to protect them from any harm way around them. So when you see in cities that the police, the sheriffs, and the cops are marching among the people, that shows the support of the police for a very nonviolent and a peaceful protest. But when the protest takes, of a violent turn, that's when the police has to step up, because you have to understand that they have a job to do.
Right.
So
Right,
they have
right,
to step in to
right,
support
right,
it.
right. ఒక్క
Right.
నిమిషం, ఒక్క
One
నిమిషం.
more quick question. one more quick question, Ranjit. So, what do you think? Like, we heard that mayor of Trenton walked with the guys who are protesting, and the deputy chief of the police who is supporting for at least our local region. What do you think? Is this the right way to support a protest by the local law enforcement and again the governor of the state or the mayor of the city?
Of course, 100%. You know, that's very, very obvious that the people, especially people that are in the higher chairs of the government, and they're basically they're in charge of everything that happens around the society or a township. But when you see somebody that you voted for and he or she is there in the front line with you, going protesting with you, that means a lot to the people. That explain itself. Like, people that I voted for, people that they care about us. That's why they're here, and they're just marching with us so we could get at the bottom of this